YouTube, my name is Mesa Sean, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. Alright folks, we have a ton of Destiny 2 Shadowkeep Season of the Undying news to go over. We have a big old calendar that Bungie just dropped on us with the This Week at Bungie for the 12th of September. Before you know it, Shadowkeep will be here on October 1st. I know I am hyped. I hope you guys are certainly hyped, and we're going to go through this Week at Bungie. If you find this video enjoyable, a like rating is very much appreciated, and subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Let's do this, folks. Before we look at the new calendar, they actually teased that we're probably going to get another ViDoc about year 3 next week, so keep your eyes locked on this channel. I will definitely have a breakdown of it, but they tease here there might even be a final pre-launch Bungie ViDoc about year 3 next week, but that's not my promise to make. Keep your eyes up. So here is the new calendar, folks, and lots to dissect and lots of content. We're going to be busy, guys, but look at the bottom right-hand corner. We can delineate, basically, what's going to come with Shadowkeep if you purchase Shadowkeep, what's going to come with the Season of the Undying Pass, and also remember the Season of the Undying Pass is free with Shadowkeep. After Shadowkeep and Season of the Undying, we'll have to purchase Season Passes after that. And then on the right-hand side, we have the little Destiny symbol there. That's going to delineate stuff that's free for everyone. Let's talk about what's going to be free for everyone on the left-hand side. Now remember, Destiny 2 New Light comes out, the base game, the base campaign, Curse of Osiris, and Warmind DLCs. That's all going to be free for everyone. So welcome the new Guardians to the Destiny universe. So we also have free seasonal updates. The Moon Destination, that's going to open up for everyone. Everyone's going to have access to a seasonal artifact. The Finishers, Armor 2.0, this new strike called the Festering Core, another new strike called the Scarlet Keep, Crucible updates, reprised PvP map Widow's Court, and also Twilight Gap. How do you guys feel about that? Widow's Court, I always liked. Twilight Gap, I've kind of had a love-hate relationship with that one. I don't know. Sometimes I loved it, sometimes I hated it. A new PvP map called Fragment, and in a previous video that I covered, they discussed it's kind of like the Infinite Forest meets the Dreaming City. Crucible Labs Elimination is coming, and that's going to be free for everyone. And Elimination is going to be 3v3 Elimination, just like Destiny 1, I believe. And then also free seasonal rank rewards. On the right-hand side, we see some paid content and also some free content. There's a new PvP mode called Momentum Control that's coming. But on the 5th of October, the raid is going to launch, and also the Vex Offensive is going to begin. And that's part of Season of the Undying, and I believe it's going to kick off on the moon. I could have sworn Deej over at Guardian Con said that the Vex, when the Vex Evasion hits, it's going to go to multiple destinations. I don't know, but it's going to be on the moon initially, I think. On the 8th, we have Hero and Legend Nightmare Hunts. Now, Nightmare Hunts are going to be this new activity that we have. We really don't know too much about them. Other than that, we can speculate that old bad guys from Destiny 1 or previous whatever are going to come back and we have to hunt them down. We know we've seen Gaul, we've seen Crota, we've seen Omnigul, so forth. Speaking of Omnigul, when we go to the 15th, we see Master Nightmare Hunts, and we see Omnigul there. Also on the 15th, Iron Banner is going to return, and with the little Destiny symbol there, Iron Banner is going to be free for everyone. On the 22nd, we've got an exotic quest, and that's going to be for a heavy exotic bow, and that's called the Leviathan's Breath. Next up, we have Festival of the Lost, and that's going to be free for everyone. That's going to be from the 29th of October through the 19th of November. Next up, on the 29th, we are getting a new dungeon. That says Dungeon Launch, and you need to have Shadowkeep to participate in this. That same day, we're getting a new exotic quest and also a new PvP game mode. Well, the new PvP game mode is called Momentum Control, and the new exotic quest is going to be for that new trace rifle called Divinity. November 5th, we are getting our first raid challenge, and of course, they put first in there, meaning that there's going to be more than just one. And then on the 19th of November, we're getting the Vex Offensive Final Assault. Next up, we've got a preview of what they're doing to a lot of weapons and also just mods in general. So this is going to be a preview of that initial patch that's going to be going live when Shadowkeep and Season of the Undying hit. So I'm literally just going to read this verbatim and chime in here and there. First off, let's talk about weapon changes in general. Weapon mods are now treated as reusable unlocks instead of consumables. Any mod you have in your inventory will be converted to unlocks. This gives players the opportunity to play with different mods more frequently. If the only copy of a mod you have is already in a gun, you will need to reacquire one to unlock it. Auto rifles, they're getting a PvE buff between 30% and 25% depending on the combat rank. Bows, PvE damage increased by 31% against minor enemies and 26% against major enemies. Now, man, I can't believe that auto rifle buff. I mean, I think auto rifles are pretty good in PvE right now, but I'll take the buff. I'm not complaining. Hand cannons, PvE damage against minor enemies increased by 30%. Lightweight and adaptive hand cannons use a new firing animation while aiming down sights. This change was made to increase the weapon's accuracy when firing these weapons as fast as possible. For example, currently players can shoot faster than the recoil animation of the 140 and 150 archetypes. So while the hand cannon looks to have fully reset from recoil, the following projectile will be shot as if the weapon was still in a recoiled state. They also say for hand cannons, reduce the effect the range stat has on damage range fall off, effective range, for this weapon archetype. Moving along, machine guns. PvE damage against minor enemies increased by 25%. Why all these changes for minor enemies? I think majors need a little bit of a buff. I don't know. Increased the effects of damage range fall off on this weapon archetype. Pulse rifles. PvE damage against minor enemies increased by 28%. Increased the effects of damage range fall off on this weapon archetype. Archetype specific damage changes impacts both PvE and PvP. So the rapid fire pulse rifles now deal 14 or 23.8, and that's for base/precision damage. And also high impact pulse rifles now deal 21/33.6, and that's either base damage versus precision damage. Next up is just music to my ears, but scout rifles are finally getting a real buff. So I could break out all of those God Roll Nameless Midnights and revisit my beloved Mananan from year 1. But scout rifles, PvE damage increased between 36% and 18% depending on the combat rank. Moving along, sidearms, PvE damage increased to minor and majors by 16%. Sniper rifles, PvE damage increased by 47% against minor enemies and 20% for others. Submachine guns, PvE damage increased by 22.5% against minors and also majors. Do they really not want me to ever take the Recluse out of my inventory? That's all I ever use all the time. Anyway, but they're changing up the aggressive frames too. So the aggressive frames, here's what they're doing to those submachine guns. They're removing the intrinsic effect of deals bonus damage at close range. This bonus was 10%, but unintentionally was always active. The bonus damage has been moved to the base damage for 750 RPM submachine guns, resulting in no damage change. As a result, the Taraba and the Huckleberry gain 10% damage in both PvE and PvP. Now we're going to move along to the exotic weapons, and man, they got some pretty good changes here that I think you're going to like. I know I like them. Sweet Business increased the magazine size from 100 to 150, increased the PvE damage by 15%. The high caliber rounds have been replaced with armor-piercing rounds. The damage has changed from 15/21.2 in terms of base versus precision. It used to be 13.21 and 21.14 for the precision. And this weapon no longer requires you to be firing when you pick up ammo to have it automatically reload. Moving along, Graviton Lance getting a big buff of PvE damage by 30%. Sunshot increasing the magazine to 12. I think it was 8. Vigilance Wing PvE damage is increased by 25%. I have not used that weapon in a long old time, but yeah, I'll give it a whirl. The Crimson, I already like Crimson as is, but here, damage has changed from 19/30, and 19 is base, 30 is precision. It used to be 13 and it used to be 24 for base/precision. Fixed an issue that was causing this weapon to deal higher flinch than intended. Merciless fixed the missing aim assist stat for this weapon. I did not know that. Ace of Spades, Memento Mori's damage bonus is now affected by range fall off. Lumina, noble rounds should apply their buff to allies more reliably now. And for the Colony exotic grenade launcher, the Serve the Colony perk now functions as auto-loading holster does. They're changing up some of the perks too. For the Substance perk, reduced the impact of this perk on total reserves. For ricochet rounds, removed the hidden bonus to damage fall off. For Swashbuckler, perk now activates when getting a kill with Ball Lightning. For Grave Robber, perk now activates when getting a kill with ranged melee abilities like Ball Lightning, Explosive Knife, etc. 1-2 Punch reduced the effectiveness of stacking 1-2 Punch and Cross Counter, which is Liar's Handshake. For example, players won't be able to defeat Riven in less than 3 seconds after Shadowkeep launches using the combo of 1-2 Punch and Liar's Handshake. But we know many of you will try other builds and potentially even succeed. They really want us to be playing the Reckoning right now, guys, leading into Shadowkeep. So they're making one more big quality of life change to the Reckoning. Check this out. Starting on September 17th, all negative modifiers are being completely removed from the Reckoning. It says, this activity will continue to feature a weekly single modifier with a daily rotation of Brawler, Grenadier, and Heavyweight. Our goal in this change is to improve the replayability of the Reckoning so solo players will feel more inclined to hop into our matchmaking for some sweet loot. This should also help address some feedback items from players that specific modifiers could feel too punishing. We're looking at you, Blackout Darkblades. So let me know, what do you guys think in the comment section, man? Some really, really good changes. I'm loving it. All these quality of life changes coming along with new content. I'm extremely excited about Shadowkeep and Season of the Undying, and you sound off in the comment section. What do you think? All right, guys, leave me a good old hashtag made it to the end if you did make it to the end. If you would like to further support this channel, become a channel member by clicking the link in the description or join on screen if you are watching on a desktop. I've got a really cool channel member Discord going on. We've got a Mesa Army clan for channel members, and I have a great time in Discord with you guys. We've got some LFG going on. People are getting raids done. People are playing competitive, and it's a really cool community that I'm building up with you guys. So, Babble mode is engaged, guys. Do me a favor. Drop a like on this video, only if you see fit. Follow me on Twitter, @MesaSean. Check out my stream, usually and always on YouTube, and that's it. I'm out of here like Vladimir.